What is going on, guys? Evan here from Evan Sports Corner, back with another live stream here on the channel. Today, we got the SEC Championship between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Georgia Bulldogs. Some exciting stuff here today. Looking forward to this one. Again, obviously, this is a matchup that no one is a stranger to at this point. Alabama and Georgia play in the SEC Championship, it seems like every single season at this point. So, looking forward to this one. This is always a fun matchup, and obviously, both teams are probably in the college football playoff regardless, but either way, exciting stuff here. Alabama and Ty Simpson get the football after an opening drive stop. Simpson from the 19, and he's going to hand it off up the middle. And the key players for today's game will be Daniel Hill and, of course, Jeremy Bernard. He's had a great season. And then for Georgia, C.J. Allen and Dalen Everett, two of the top defensive players in the SEC. Dalen's a great corner, and then obviously C.J. Allen's really good too, so this will be a good one here today between those two teams. Here we go. 2nd down and 5. After the 5-yard run from Daniel Hill. 2nd and 5. Man in motion. It'll go back to Hill up the middle. And it brings up a 3rd down here for the Dogs. This is a big 3rd down here. Early on in this game, these are the important 3rd downs that matter the most. Can Georgia get off the field is the question early on in this one. 2nd and 3. 3rd and 3 now. Alabama's offense has been a strength of their team all season. Here we go. Man in motion. Simpson. He'll run a little reverse here. And the Dogs are out there. Big physicality. And they're going to get the stop. I believe that is Ellis Robinson who was out there to make that play. What a play. What a play right there by Ellis Robinson. Here we go, a punt back to about the 30, and it'll be taken in there by Georgia. That's interesting. All right, there you go. So that's a good start. Both teams trade punts early on in this game, which I think is interesting. Both defenses doing their job against those opening drive scripts. I feel like it's always tough to. Both teams, those opening drive scripts are really important to establish flow early on in a football game. And right now, both teams are able to get stops. And I think the key to this game is going to be, can Georgia finally overcome that Alabama kind of, how do I describe it? That Alabama, cloud, the dark Alabama cloud that just hovers over this program. I mean, it's that simple. This is a program that just has struggled to beat Alabama. They've had a lot of trouble with them in the past, and it'll be interesting to see how they do today against Alabama. Again, they've been the Georgia boogeyman. Georgia doesn't lose many football games. It's just been interesting to see how all that has how it's all just kind of worked out. Georgia Alabama. It's just an exciting college football rivalry, and I think it's really, goodness gracious. There's just, why cannot see? Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I just think it's really interesting how Georgia just struggles to beat Alabama. I mean, we've seen it in college football a lot. It's just a lot of patterns there are a lot of trends that stay the same. And it's the same here. I mean, they just cannot beat Alabama. I don't know what it is about them. It's just they can't beat them, and it's really interesting to me. It's always been really interesting. Like, why can't they beat Alabama? I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of how it's been. So, anyways, we'll see how it all shakes out, though. Today, Georgia's 0-4 against Alabama in the SEC championship under Kirby Smart, which is a wild stat. No doubt. That's a really wild stat to me as well. Is it that's true that they're 0-4 against them. But Georgia did get a win over Alabama in the 2022 National Championship. They're hoping for more of the same today. Regardless, both these teams are most likely in the playoffs with win or lose today. It's just, playing for that SEC championship. Obviously, that's something that matters a lot to both of these programs. So, again, Kirby Smart, 115-13 versus all other college football teams, but 1-7 versus Alabama. And he's lost to Kalen DeBoer twice. It's not just a Nick Saban issue. It's an Alabama issue when it comes to Kirby Smart and the Dogs. But here we go. Can DeBoer keep Smart's number and win his first SEC championship at Alabama? Georgia starting at the 30-yard line. Man in the backfield. And here is Stockton dropping back, checks it down, and that's going to be a loss of about 5 right there. He pitched that one out there. Is that McCray? Is that what is it? LJ McCray or something? Is that the dude's name? That was big loss for Georgia today, though, is their center, Drew Bobo, who's arguably the best center in college football. He's being replaced by Malachi Tolliver, making his second career start. That will definitely provide some issues for Georgia in the run game. 2nd and 14. Stockton, clean pocket underneath, and a big hit on Frazier there, who lost the football. Damani Jackson in coverage back there. It brings up a 3rd and 14. Georgia once again behind the sticks. Stockton gets a good pocket. Nothing open really. And he just checks it down to Frazier, who takes a big shot right there from Damani Jackson, the Alabama corner. He already had lost the football by the time Jackson arrived there for that hit. But now it is a 3rd down and long. And again, you don't want to be in 3rd and longs against this Alabama defense. And is that Frazier? Yikes, that is not a good start for Georgia. Starting center's already down. No bueno. If you are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. It really, again, helps out the YouTube channel a lot. So click the sub button. Helps out the channel. We're going to, let me go. I'm not in my normal setup today for this live stream, so I've just been kind of dealing with some issues right now. Missing some equipment today. But we're good. I need to go get a chair, though, because my back is killing me. I need to do something about that. So let me do that real quick. 3rd and 14, 9:15 to go in the first quarter, though. 0-0 game. Ugh. Ugh. All right. 3rd down and 14 for Georgia. Gunner Stockton in shotgun. Cash Jones to his left. Stockton dropping back. Pressure comes. Check down to Jones. He's going to run upfield. Lunge, and it'll be about a yard short of the 1st down marker. So decision to make here for Kirby Smart and the Dogs early on in this game. It's a 4th and very short as Deontay Lawson got a hit there. And they're going to end up punting this football. So it's a 4th and 1. And they are going to punt. Again, if they're playing Texas, I would expect them to probably fake it. But, well, that's not happening here. So, yeah, everybody who's listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. Yeah, everybody's listening. Yeah, oh yeah, we got people coming in. Yes, sir. It's gonna be a fun one today. Y'all stick around, man. This is gonna be a fun live stream for sure. Everybody like it up. Everybody click the subscribe button. All right, let's get going. All right, I also need to get a stand for my mic right now. This is this is a very just annoying setup that I'm dealing with right now because I don't have my table. Here we go. 1st and 10. Simpson from near his own end zone completes it for a first down. Nice run after the catch there by Isaiah Horton. And there you go. 8:13 to go here. Let me change the scoreboard. There we go, Alabama. 1st and 10. Simpson fakes the pitch, goes to Hill up the middle, gets about 2, and then he'll be brought down by some dogs. Alabama going a little more up-tempo here. All right. Yeah, that's good. All right, cool. Here we go. So, 2nd down and 8 again. Parker Brailsford in this Alabama offensive line. They've barely allowed any pressure from the games I've watched as well. Bama usually has a very clean pocket for Simpson. Georgia's pass rush is starting to get better as the season's gone along. So we'll see if that matters today. 2nd down and 8. Simpson keeps it himself up the middle, and he's driven backwards. Oh, Harris in the middle. Big hit on Simpson right there. He came flying through. Alabama tried to go with a read option, and he just got blasted. Good hit there from Harris. Textbook tackling by the Georgia Bulldogs. I love to see it. I love to see it a lot there. That was beautiful tackling, beautiful football. 3rd and 9 coming up. So we'll see if that matters today. 2nd down and 8. Simpson keeps it himself up the middle, and he's driven. 3rd and 9. Simpson dropping back, throws incomplete. Intended for Jeremy Bernard over the middle. KJ Bolden was there. 4th down and 9, and the Dogs defense gets another stop. This is gonna look like a classic game. All right, so let me change this now. I need to go get something else to keep this mic staying. I'm holding it in my hand right now. This is not fun. Simpson's eyes darted around. He looked like he kept it there on Bernard. He was looking at him there. And unfortunately for him, it's another Alabama punt. So 4th and 9, Alabama punting the football. That is 4 straight punts to open up this SEC championship game. And Georgia's at the house, and the punt is blocked. Georgia blocks the punt. Kirby Smart special teams unit does it again. And prime field position coming up for the Dogs. Big time blocked punt. Yikes. Georgia special teams has had some big moments this season. A blocked punt there off the edge. Right off the foot of Dude the punter. So here we go. 1st and 10. Stockton handoff to Frazier. Right side. Nate Frazier 1st down inside the 10-yard line and fighting for even more. This has been just a good start for Georgia today. My goodness. This has been a really strong start for the Dogs. That block punt is so huge. 1st and goal from the 7. Stockton under center. Frazier in the backfield. Bell in motion. Stockton. Frazier makes the cut, and he is driven back about a yard. Bama got back there. Nice tackle for loss from Sabian Brown. He got back there, made a good play. Need to move this around. Ugh. Goodness gracious. All right, that should do it. And then we move this here. Here we go. Second and goal. Stockton. Hand off inside. Bell darts forward. He's going to be a couple yards short. It was close, but he is going to be short. And we have a third down coming up. The Dogs have to convert in these moments. If you are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button to help out the channel. Big third down and goal. Mike Bobo's offense versus Kane Womack's defense. Third and goal. Stockton fakes the handoff. Open man. Touchdown, Georgia! Robinson. Touchdown, Dogs. Georgia strikes on a Roderick Robinson 1-yard touchdown. Mike Bobo dials it up right there. What a play. What a play. That was just a beautiful play call. A simple little play action type of deal. It was a play action on fake the handoff, go 4th and 1, roll out right, and Roderick Robinson's wide open. That is a touchdown, and Georgia leads 7-0 over Alabama here in this game. Big touchdown. Again, it started with the blocked punt for the Dogs. That's huge, man. That is just a massive play. Again, y'all listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. Comment in the chat as well. Move this a little closer to me here. Yeah, it's a fun start to this game, though. No doubt about that. I've really enjoyed watching this start. It's been exciting. It's been great. Man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, y'all listen, click the subscribe button. What a start, though, to this SEC championship. Yeah, this game's been ridiculous so far. What a start to this. It's been really fun to see how it's all gone down so far. It's been a really exciting game. I mean, again, it was punts, but then that punt block, man, that punt block, who blocked that punt, by the way? That was a huge play in this game, obviously. So if I go to the play-by-play, I hope I can see who blocked that punt. It was number 83, and it said it was blocked by Spear. Who is Spear? I'm gonna do my due diligence and look up who this guy is because he deserves credit. That was a great play. I'm on Georgia's roster. I know I am. Personally, I think this is what I've been thinking, especially. Okay, so Spear. Shoot, wait, that's not him. Dang it. Okay. 83. I don't see him. He's definitely not an O-lineman. So is he like a backup wide receiver or something? I don't even know. Cole Spear blocked that punt. So, yeah, I mean, this game, it's going to come down to plays like that. Alabama and Georgia. Usually, Georgia struggles with Alabama. It's just kind of a well-documented, well-known thing now that Georgia struggles with Alabama. We know this. I mean, it's something it's been a trend for years now. But, I mean, again, Georgia's able to win this game. Obviously, they secure. If Georgia wins this game, they could end up. Wait, no, they won't. But No. Okay, if Georgia wins this game, they pretty much lock themselves into the number 2 seed. What's up, Will? It's good to see you. Good to see you, big dog. How about him, bro? Hey, I'm rooting for Georgia today because I don't think Texas is gonna get in. But if Georgia blows Alabama out, at least it gives the committee something to think about. But I think we're probably cooked at the end of the day. Either way, what a start though. Georgia making a big play on special teams early on in this game. But yeah, this is a game that Georgia wants to win for pride. Again, they lock in the number 2 seed. The winner of tonight's Big Ten championship between Ohio State and Indiana will be the number 1 seed. Loser drops depending on how far, because Texas Tech looked elite today against BYU in that Big 12 championship. Shout out to Texas Tech and Joey McGuire. I got to give respect where I give respect to, man. I got to give respect to him. If you are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. What a play by Spear to get that hand on it. Man, I wish Texas could do that. I swear we miss every single block punt opportunity imaginable. So shout out to Georgia for actually executing. And then Roderick Robinson wide open. Georgia is down running backs. I heard something about how Chauncey Bowens is hurt. Nate Frazier got banged up earlier in this game. But Georgia, hey, they just keep on rolling. So 1st and 10 for Alabama at the 25-yard line. Simpson. He's got Hill to his left. Motions a man. And up the middle, that's actually not Hill. That is number 0. He's going to get a couple yards there before being swallowed by some dogs. That is Deer. Is that a Keely Deer? Is that his name? Or am I wrong? Okay, Ack Deer. I think that's short for something. Number 2 running back recruit in the class of 2025. So the kid is a 5-star. He's getting a big opportunity. Obviously, Alabama is down Jam Miller today, who's one of their longtime backs. I feel like Jam Miller's been there forever. 2nd down and 8 for Simpson in Alabama from the 27. Simpson drops back, 4-man rush, and a check down underneath to Daniel Hill. Great tackle underneath by the dogs. That's Cole, number 9, with the tackle for Georgia. That was a great tackle. Georgia's doing better tackling in the open field from what I've seen today. Chris Cole, the linebacker, 6'3", made that tackle. Big 3rd down for Alabama early on in this game. 3:33 to go in the first quarter. 3rd and 4 for Kalen DeBoer's team. He's 2-0 against Kirby in his time in Alabama so far. We'll see what he can do today. 3rd down and 4. Bama's got a split backfield. I think that's Bernard in the backfield. Interesting formation here. And it's a 3rd and 4. Simpson throws. He's got a 1st down completion to Ryan Williams, who spins off a tackler. Ryan Williams across midfield. He's still going. And Georgia finally gives up a big play in this one. Ryan Williams makes his first catch in a couple weeks. I'm pretty sure he was held catchless against Auburn. Right here, just a quick little, stop and then kind of out type of deal. Made a spin move on DeMello Jones. And then from there, it's just Ryan Williams doing what Ryan Williams does best. We know, Georgia fans know all too well how good he can be after the catch. Big 1st down, and Alabama's across midfield now. 1st and 10 for Simpson. And Alabama from the Georgia 49. Motions a man across. 1st and 10. Play action. Simpson drops back. Throwing right side the field. Got a man. Incomplete. Intended for Isaiah Horton, who was bagged by Ellis Robinson. Ellis Robinson, the cornerback for Georgia. Former 5-star recruit. One of the nation's has a lot of potential. That's just kind of a drop there from Horton, though. I think Robinson got in there a little late, and definitely that should have been caught, I think, from Horton. Alabama moving their tight end Cuevas across the formation. 2nd and 10. Georgia's got 4 men up front. Are they showing blitz? I don't think so. They might be. They're sending a 5th guy. Simpson over the middle. Pass is complete to Jeremy Bernard, who's been an elite weapon for Alabama this season. Again, you got Williams, you got Bernard, you got Horton. The explosiveness in this Alabama offense, when there's good protection, is there. The running back, and then you got Cuevas, the tight end. There's a lot of explosive guys in this Alabama roster, which we've seen all season long. But we've also seen them get destroyed. Oklahoma beat this team. They held Alabama to 21 points in 4 quarters. Georgia, their defense hasn't been as good as they've been in recent years. But, man, they still have a lot of 5-stars and blue chippers. 3rd and 6 from the Georgia 45. Simpson Georgia's showing blitz. They're sending some extra guys here. Simpson down the middle, and it's intercepted by Georgia. Dalen Everett, I believe. A flag is down late in the play, but Simpson may have just coughed it up. Not coughed it up in the literal sense, but he did just turn it over. Dalen Everett, one of the key impact players for a reason. He's one of the best cornerbacks in the sport. He tried to go over the middle. This pass was thrown behind his intended target. I think was it deflected? I'm not sure, but Dalen Everett makes another big play. He had 2 picks in the SEC Championship game against Texas last year. He owns this game. And that ball was deflected by the former 5-star safety, KJ Bolden. But Dalen Everett officially, I think at this point, puts himself down as one of the greatest SEC Championship performers of all time. I mean, the guy's got 3 picks in 2 years. Dude's a stud. And I think the flag here, both of them grabbed onto each other's face masks. Unfortunately, though, they're going to call it on Dalen Everett there. He was the ball carrier. So instead of having it deep in Alabama territory, they'll still have good field position, but not as good as it would have been. A face mask is pretty significant there. Not Dalen's best moment, but he did get a pick. Georgia's going to hand the football off up the middle to McCray. He gets a few yards to the 45. So yeah, they're showing the highlights from last year's game. First drive of the game for Texas, he picks off a Quinn Ewers pass, and then later in the game, another Quinn Ewers pass goes right into the hands of Dalen Everett. There's no doubt that this guy is a beast. Yeah, Will, I didn't like the highlights, to be honest. I did not like that. 2nd down and 8. Texas highlights, some freaking lowlights. 2nd down and 8 from the 45. Stockton, play action. Going to check it down underneath to Oscar Delp. And again, Georgia, I think, has the best tight end room in college football with Oscar Delp and Lawson Lucky. Both guys are elite players. If you are listening, be sure to click that sub button. 38 seconds to play in the first quarter. Georgia leads 7-0. They're at midfield on a 3rd and 3. They hurry up to the line. Stockton, clean pocket. He'll step up. He'll run. Did he get the first down? It's going to be a tough spot. Officials are going to give it to him, though. I thought he did get it. I thought he reached across and got the first down. That's the end of the first quarter here. Georgia with probably one of their best quarters that they've played against Alabama in recent memory. That was a fun quarter. Again, everybody listening, man, click that sub button again. Really does help out the channel so much. The subscribers, the number, it just helps. I really does help out the channel so much. The subscribers, the number, it just helps. That was a fun first quarter of football, though. I enjoyed that one. I mean, you look at it and it's just like, yeah, it was just a great quarter. I mean, from Georgia's perspective, that's about as good of a quarter as you could ask for. You held an explosive Alabama offense to 0 points in that quarter. I mean, this is an Alabama team that, while their offense has slowed down a bit as the season's gone on, we know how explosive they can be. We know they have elite playmakers. We know these things about Alabama. We know how good they can be. And for Georgia's defense to do that to them in the first quarter, first of all, props to Kirby Smart. I mean, we know Kirby Smart is one of the best coaches in college. He is the best coach in college football. His defenses, no matter how much they struggle at times this season, how much they've struggled, you know that they have the talent. Dalen Everett, Ellis Robinson, KJ Bolden. I mean, those multiple 5 stars. I don't know what Dalen was back in high school, but I mean, those are multiple blue chipper kind of players right there. Obviously, all the studs on the defensive line as well that Georgia has. I mean, it's stars after stars. You know that the talent is there, and you know Kirby's going to get these boys right for these important matchups. Um, and so, yeah, I don't know. That was a really good first quarter from them. They got to execute here on offense and get a bigger lead. But yeah, be sure to click the sub button, y'all. We'll keep talking about college football all day today. I'm planning to stream tonight as well. The Big Ten championship between Ohio State and Indiana. So it'll be a long day. Hopefully, I'll get most of my stuff back though, because right now the setup is a little wacky. Right now. Yeah, Georgia, I think, yeah, that was just they did a really nice job there that quarter. But it's a long football game. Alabama will adjust, and again, their playmakers are going to make plays at some point. You already saw them get the ball to Ryan Williams. So I think it's definitely a point of emphasis for them is making sure that he touches the ball the amount that he needs to touch the ball. Because again, he is one of the most explosive players in the sport when he actually gets an opportunity to make plays. So, we'll see. We shall see. But obviously, I was talking a little bit about it earlier. Texas Tech clinches a spot in the top 4 and a first-round bye with their performance today. Look, you can say what you want to say about BYU and about the Big 12. Tech's defense is legit. So many good players on that defense. So many stars. Jacob Rodriguez, Roberts, their linebacker, had a huge day today. As here's Georgia, first play of the second quarter. It's going to be a run to Frazier. It looks like he's all right. He'll get a little bit there. We know that Tech's defense is elite. Their offense wasn't very good today, but against BYU, it didn't really matter. Tech definitely earned a top 4 spot. They went, now they're 12-1 on the season. Two dominant victories over BYU now. Brigham Young, get out the playoffs. 17-0 and blocking a kick. That's interesting. 2nd and 9, and another run here for the Dogs up the middle. Frazier trying to find a hole, and he's able to fight. Georgia's offensive line's going to push Nate Frazier, and he's going to get the first down. That is an unbelievable play right there. I mean, Frazier was stopped dead to rights, but Georgia's offensive line got behind him and did a little Philadelphia Eagles tush push. That was ridiculous. They got behind this dude and just straight. I mean, offensive line deserves credit for those rushing yards, 100%. That was amazing. 35-yard line of Alabama. Gunnar Stockton. Gonna hand it off again. And I think that's Frazier again. Alabama got through there. Nice tackle. Damani Jackson was in on that one. So the Dogs have been doing their thing early on in this game. Neither team really is going crazy in the run game, but Georgia's at least establishing it. Alabama only had 10 rushing yards in the first quarter, which, Alabama, their running backs, again, they don't have Jan Miller today, and they're not as elite in the run game as they've been in recent years from what I've seen. But, you got to try to establish it, right? Especially against Georgia. 2nd down and 8. And another handoff. Frazier is taken down in the backfield, and that was the captain, one of the captains of this Alabama defense right there. Is that Keenan? Great play. Just destroyed. Yeah, just came in on a little stunt there. That's an easy tackle. Is that Keenan? Chauncey? Oh, that's Chauncey Bowens. Okay, Chauncey Bowens is playing. That was Tim Keenan. I thought it was Tim Keenan right there who made a great play. 3rd down and 8. Keenan is one of the top defensive tackles in this next upcoming NFL draft for a reason. 3rd and 8. It's another Stockton run up the middle. And Stockton being pushed forward. Did he get to the line to gain? We'll see where they spot him. Line judge here on the near side. Look, he's going to spot him short. 4th down and short. Georgia decision to make. I think Kirby and Bobo are going to roll the dice here and go for this, though. It's a 4th and 1. You want to go for as many points as possible, but good job by Stockton to navigate here. He fought, and Cash Jones came in and pushed him behind late. making this a lot closer. 4th down and 1. What's Georgia's play call gonna be? They motion everybody around. Here's Stockton. And it's a QB sneak. He picks up the 1st down. So Kirby trusts his guys up front to win that battle, and they do. And that is the Georgia Bulldog way. All these Alabama guys on the right side. There's a big hole on this left side for Gunnar Stockton to just kind of go around. It's a good play design. It's smart for Stockton. Again, Alabama had all their guys stacked up to the right side when Georgia motioned that offensive lineman to the right side. And Georgia, this drive, has gone eight rushes, 1 pass. They're really trying to impose their will on Alabama. They're across the 25. Stockton rolling out right, and he checks it down. Another big hit that Frazier just took. My goodness. That was brutal. He's taken a couple big ones today. Oh my gosh. Who just laid that boom? It was just a play action rollout to the right. Stockton tried to hit Frazier. He came out of the backfield, took a shot here in the shoulder from Pierce. 2nd and 10 coming up. Georgia at about the 24.5-yard line, 23.5-yard line on 2nd and 10. Stockton, 3-man rush, has time, right side, pass caught, Bell fights inside the 5. Georgia's offense moving it well this drive. Gunnar Stockton doing his job. And he just waits for the linebacker to move out of the way. Deontay Lawson, he gets an open man, and Dylan Bell right on the money. 1st down. Bray Hubbard making the tackle here at the end, as well as, I couldn't see the number. 1st and goal from the 4. Stockton has Frazier with him in the backfield. And it is going to be Frazier who's swallowed up in the backfield by Alabama's front. That was Faga. Nice play. 2nd down and goal here. Kane Womack's defense having a tough time early on. Again, if you guys are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. Let me do this instead. Make this smarter. There we go. 2nd and goal. And we had a lot of movement up front here as McCray. I don't know why McCray's fighting his way into the end zone. We got some shoving going on right here at the end of this play. That was just stupid. What is he doing, bro? He did not hear the whistle. Is he deaf? So false start on the Dogs, which is pretty obviously the call. And so that will stall this goal line sequence. I think this was just really stupid from McCray. I don't know why this dude just kept running. Like, I guess he was just trying to rage bait. But that backs up Georgia. 2nd and goal now. Alabama being worn down by this 12-play drive from the Dogs. They're at the 10-yard line. Stockton from the 10, 2nd and goal, and he fakes, running up the middle. Gunnar Stockton to the 5, so he gets pretty much all the yards back. Maybe one less yard, but he pretty much gets all the way back to where they were before the penalty and sets up a 3rd and goal. So I think that is what Kirby is trying to do right now, though, is wear down Alabama. Again, Georgia's trying to impose their will, run it down their throats. They're barely passing, and really just tire out this defense early on in this game. Show who the more physical, more imposing football team is. Big play here from the 5, though. It's 3rd and goal. Bowen's in the backfield. Branch in motion. It's Stockton. Has a lot of time to the end zone. Touchdown, Dogs! Dylan Bell! And Georgia jumps out to a 2-touchdown lead. What a throw from Gunnar. What a play. It looked like it was just a little dig route concept from Dillon Bell. Once again, I think the thing is Georgia's winning at the line of scrimmage for the most part in this game. Pass protection from them has been phenomenal early on today, and they're up 14-0 on Alabama in this SEC championship game. They look more physical. They look faster. They just look better. Alabama's miscues coming back to bite them. Dalen Everett with the pick. Gunnar Stockton with the touchdown to Dillon Bell. And Georgia, what a start to this SEC championship. Kalen DeBoer got to be frustrated again. Didn't get off the field there on third down, even with the false start. Brutal. And so now for Alabama, the offense has to be going on this drive. I mean, look, you got out physical that drive. Georgia got a pick, ran it down your throat for over 14 or 15 plays, a couple passes here and there. Shout out to Dillon Bell, super clutch on that drive, made multiple huge plays. And there you go. The Georgia Bulldogs are now up 2 scores. But, if DeBoer, we'll see what DeBoer can do. We'll see if he can get the boys back in the game. I mean, this drive is super important. And again, I think establishing the run game has been a little tricky for Alabama early on today. Again, no Jam Miller, unfortunate, but I think Georgia's just winning at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball right now. It's a pretty easy observation to make. Bama here, we got 3 carries for 9 yards for Hill, and then Deere got 1 carry for 2 yards. Georgia, they've established it. 6 carries for 21 yards with Bell. The yards per carry aren't crazy, but I think Bobo's been calling a better game so far than who's Bama's coordinator? Is it Grubb, Ryan Grubbs or something like that? I don't know. But Bell's been critical early on in this game. I haven't seen a tunnel screen to Branch yet, which definitely surprised me because Zachariah Branch tunnel screens are a huge part of the Georgia scheme. So, yeah, 14-0 is the score, though. And I'm not sure. I swear I changed the possession arrow. Now I did to Alabama because it is going to be their ball here. Glad I caught that before this drive started. So, yeah, this has just been a really fun game to watch, though. SEC Championship, again, both of these teams are very physical, very fast. Again, you're looking at some of the top athletes in all of football, in all of college football. A lot of the best athletes are playing in this game, and we're seeing a lot of them make plays. KJ Bolden, that again, everyone's going to talk about Dalen Everett's pick. KJ Bolden deflecting that football, though. Again, on the box score, it shows up as a pick for Everett, but Bolden's tip there to get the ball to Everett and make that pass go behind Isaiah Horton is what made that play. And I think KJ Bolden deserves so much credit. That was a great play by him. And again, just Georgia's offensive line, man, they're just plowing through folks right now. This is good SEC Southern freaking football right now. That's what this is. Georgia that's what they just did, man. Anyways, talking about the college football playoff here. That's a cool little graphic that ESPN just put up. A couple spots still available. Miami, Notre Dame's going to be the controversy of all controversies. Fortunately, the Longhorns are not going to be in probably, but it's all right though. But there you go. We'll not talk about Texas right now. That's more of a halftime thing. Last drive, Georgia, 14 plays, 57 yards. Alabama has hit 50 yards total on their first 3 drives of this game. Georgia's dominating. Can Alabama flip the script like they've done before? Nick Saban ain't there anymore, but we'll see what DeBoer's got. This is what they pay you the big bucks for, right? It's just the miscues. Again, that block punt is really what shifted the momentum of this game early. Then you get the interception. I'm sure that's what DeBoer is telling his guys on the sideline is, hey, we just made a couple bad mistakes, and all it takes is just 1 or 2 plays, and boom. We know this Alabama offense. We know what they can do. We know what they're capable of. So here we go. Simpson needs to change it all. 1st and 10. From the 25, man in motion, and Simpson's going to throw the screen to Ryan Williams, and he's waiting for everything to set up. Ryan Williams darts outside of DeMello Jones and gets a big run. That is just a great play. Georgia pointing at the sideline. They say Williams stepped out earlier. But still, either way, Ryan Williams showing off the explosiveness and the speed on this little screen. I thought that DeMello Jones had the angle, and Ryan Williams just ran outside of him and made a big play, and Alabama's across the 45 in one play. And Kirby is going to ask the officials to take a look at where Williams stepped out of bounds exactly. And they are going to review this. SEC refs, every SEC fan's favorite people. And it looks like Williams steps out right there. So if he steps out there, that is only a few yards in front of that first down marker, which the first down was probably, the 35, so that backs him up a couple yards, I guess. Oh wait, yeah, that backs him up like a decent. Wait, that backs him up like 10 yards. I'm stupid if they reverse this, which they should. Ball carrier was, as of right now, they ruled Williams to go out at the 46-yard line. I think he probably went out around like the 35 or 38, so that's like an 8-yard difference, which in these games makes a difference. I mean, it really does make a difference. Yeah, if you are listening again, be sure to click the sub button. Helps out the channel a lot. What's the call, ref? Yeah, okay. So yeah, they do overturn. Shoot, my voice. They overturn the call. He was out of bounds at the 38. That's an 8-yard field position flip right there with the penalty, or with the penalty. I'm an idiot. With that reversal. So there you go. Alabama will. Here we go. They're down to 38. It's still a 1st and 10, though. And 5-man rush. Simpson under pressure. Rolls out right. Throws it away. That's a good play. Great job by Georgia's defense there. 2nd and 10 from the 38. Horton in motion. Simpson drops back. Checks it down. It's batted at the line of scrimmage, though, by the Dogs. Who made that play? Man, Georgia came to frickin' play. That's Johnson. Q Johnson here. Bats it down with the left hand. Third and 10. This is a big play. Can Alabama flip the script? 7:41. Simpson, empty backfield. Motion to man inside. Simpson has some time. Here comes pressure. He gets rid of it and he overthrows his man. 4th and 10. Georgia gets another stop. They've got this Alabama offense in a lot of trouble right now. Latsier Brooks. That's who that was. Oh, he overthrew Brooks, number 17. Here we go. Branch is the return man. Alabama is going to get a free punt here. I don't think Branch is going to return this one, and he will just fair catch it around the 20. And Alabama stopped again. 4 drives, nothing going for Alabama. Again, Georgia's defense looked human against Ole Miss this season. They looked... Wait, who... Okay, I got to take a deeper dive in the Georgia schedule because I seriously do remember the talk about... Yeah, 41 points against Tennessee, 35 to Ole Miss. I mean, they've allowed coverage busts, and they've had some bad moments this season. But again, like normal, Georgia usually is able to reel it in by the end of the season, and they've been doing good. I mean, Texas, we only scored 10 on them. Georgia Tech 9, but I mean, we know Georgia Tech doesn't score any points anyway. So, and yeah, I mean, just Good football from the Georgia Bulldogs. They're playing their best football right now later in the season. They're looking great right now. Alabama, I think, won 24-21 in Athens earlier this season. Georgia could score 21 points in this game before halftime. So, again, just a lot of variables that are going – a lot of things are going Georgia's way right now. They're outplaying Alabama in all three phases, and that's a winning formula, is outplaying your opponent in every phase of the game. So, yeah, this has been a dominant Georgia performance so far. Again, they are up 14-0 with the football coming back to them. If y'all are listening, by the way, again, click the subscribe button. It really does help out the YouTube channel a lot. And, yeah. Again, Alabama needs something. Alabama needs something to go their way. They need a, they need a deflection pick. They need a fumble. Or a pick in general. Just something, man. Alabama needs something to go their way. Because right now, it's been all Georgia all day. So, this has just been it's been a crazy one. So there's the college football playoff rankings. Indiana and Ohio State will be 1 versus 2 tonight. And then a lot of teams who do not play this week. Notre Dame and Miami, the big discussion that both of those teams are not playing this week. Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Oregon, all also on bye weeks, and pretty much all those teams are secured in their playoff positions. So congratulations to all those teams. Begrudgingly on a couple of them. So here we go. 1st and 10, Georgia trying to keep the foot on the gas. So here we go. 1st and 10 from the 20. Stockton. He will run a jet sweep to Dylan Bell, who races across the 30-yard line, and a first down to the Georgia 32 with a 12-yard pickup on the sweep. And there's Dylan Bell doing his thing. And Stockton, again, they have to keep those Alabama linebackers have to keep their eyes on Gunnar Stockton, because I've seen Georgia run that play. They can run a power play out of it. But that time Stockton decides to hand it off to the sweep. And again, there's the numbers. Georgia 71 rushing yards, Bama 10. Here's a check down from Stockton to Frazier. He's got the shiftiness, but he never really stood a chance there. Damani Jackson out there to make that tackle. But yeah, I feel like that's been a huge point of emphasis in this game, is Georgia's made it a point to run the football. Alabama can't establish their run game, and honestly, I don't even think they're really trying to. That's kind of hurting. Georgia's able to go on these longer, sustaining drives, take the clock down with them. I mean, there's only 6.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Georgia can try to milk this down and go up 3 scores before half. 2nd and 8. Stockton, screen pass. Alabama was out there. Nice move, though. Alabama's going to give a few yards there. That pass was caught. That was a very dangerous play. I thought Georgia was going to get that play blown up, and it did not. Again, that really surprised me. I expected that play to get completely blown up. Nice moves there, though, from Sokovie White-Helton. Shout out to him. Shout out to the kid. 3rd and 6 here for Georgia. Gunnar Stockton. Big 3rd down. Womack's defense, what are they going to do? Got a lot of guys up in the box. Do they send the house at Stockton? Pressure coming. Stockton delivers down the field, and he overthrew Branch by a mile. He felt the pressure, and I think if he puts that one on target, Branch I mean, anytime Zachariah Branch touches the football, it's dangerous. But again, this blitz look, they end up only rushing 4, but they sent, again, you didn't know where the pressure was coming from. The offensive line had to communicate. Honestly, they did a pretty decent job picking it up. Cash Jones took a guy out, but right there on that blind side, a guy came in, and Gunnar Stockton felt that and probably affected his mentality, and probably a little bit of the mental there on that throw. Stockton, pretty accurate guy usually. 4th and 6, Thorson comes out to punt, and Alabama will fair catch that one at about the 24-yard line. So a huge stop for Bama, and now they get a big opportunity here with the football to do something, anything. I mean, I'm pretty sure Georgia got the ball first in this game, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was Georgia. It was 4 straight punts, but Alabama got that punt, their second punt blocked. Georgia scored, pick, touchdown, punt, punt. So sandwiched in between a whole lot of punts was just a good sequence of events for Georgia there. And that's pretty much been the difference of this game. It's been the mistakes from Alabama and just their struggles up front. I mean, they really just haven't done a very good job running the football. The pass protection's been a little weak at times. Again, 10 rushing yards? They're not going to beat Georgia with 10 rushing yards, man. It's just not going to happen. But, yeah, if y'all are listening still, click the sub button, man. Having a fun one today. Dominant game so far from Georgia, but again, far from over. Again, 14 points. Man, Alabama can make that up. It's not over yet. This game's definitely very much up for grabs, in my opinion. But we'll see, though. I mean, again, it's just all going to come down to how Alabama's able to adjust. Right now, Kirby Smart's defense versus Ryan Grubb's offense and Kalen DeBoer's offense, because again, that's what more Kalen DeBoer, I believe that's what more of Kalen DeBoer is known for, is his offensive stuff. Yeah, definitely Washington was super offensive powerhouse back in the day. Yeah, I mean, that is the that's the matchup. I mean, Alabama's offense has to find some sort of something to work with here, something to get going. Something's got to give for Alabama. The Georgia secondary has been a weak point at times this season. Again, we saw Kiffin and Ole Miss expose them a lot in that game. Trinidad Chambliss ran wild. Trinidad Chambliss had a great game. They hit some big plays in that one. But yeah, that's interesting. But well, I guess, and this will be more of a halftime conversation. But again, this Lane Kiffin stuff is crazy. Ole Miss, I really just don't see a way that program succeeds in the playoffs. I'm just going to be honest here. I just don't. I mean, Lane Kiffin is the architect of that program. Lane Kiffin is the guy who made that program relevant. Lane Kiffin is the guy who helped with those offensive play calls, and those guys became better under him. Look, it would be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how they fare, but I just don't see much confidence in Ole Miss, depending on opponents, of course. But I just don't know, man. I just don't know. 1st and 10, though, from the 25. Simpson. Georgia doing their D-line stunts. It's Simpson with a man in the backfield. Will they finally try to establish the run game? Here they got 5:24 to go, and they are going to run the football up the middle to Deere. Gets a few. Second and 7. 5:03 to play here. Bama's up to 13 rushing yards in the half now. So here we go. 4:50. Simpson's got Hill in the backfield and motioning Ryan Williams. He's going to give it to Williams on a jet sweep. What a spin move from Ryan Williams. He's able to get a few yards out of that. It was a great spin. Again, the after the catch ability and after run ability from Ryan Williams is truly unique and special. This is a great spin move he hit there. but he got forced out of bounds and is still going to bring up a third down. So I like Grubb and DeBoer's, commitment to getting him the ball. They got to get Ryan Williams the ball more, but you got to have something here for 3rd and 2 because, Kirby's got something dialed up. 3rd and 2. Bama, 4 straight drives and nothing. Can the 5th one go their way? Simpson in front and missed the throw. Oh my goodness. He is rattled. Daniel Hill was open out of the backfield. That was going to be a 1st down, but Simpson led him way too far. I mean, this is just an easy pitch and catch, but I don't know what Simpson's doing. Man, he is struggling today. This ball went straight into the turf. And Simpson just knows that was a huge misfire in a game like this. Simpson, one of his worst games of the season. 4th and 2. And Alabama to punt it away deep into Georgia territory. Branch at the 20, or inside the 20, will fair catch it. And Alabama, with their 4th punt of the day and their 5th scoreless drive. What a half for Kirby Smart's and Georgia's defense. I mean, this is not what I expected. I did not expect Ty Simpson and Alabama to look this bad offensively. I thought both offenses would be rolling, and that's how this game would go. It'd be more of a shootout type of deal. But right now, it's been very defensive. Georgia's been able to win the field position battle with a block punt and that interception, which they got to the 40. Stockton 9 for 12 for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. Efficiency. Here's Stockton. Screen pass to Branch. He's trying to make a play. Zachariah Branch. Oh, if he rolled over him, that's going to be a 1st down. So fortunate for Branch there. That's a 1st down. Great play by him, though, to reverse the field here. That's a guaranteed play that Georgia calls every game. 71 Green pushes the guy out the way, giving Branch an opportunity, and he just rolls over his guy, the linebacker who was tackling there. Was that Rusaw? I think it was Qua Rusaw, who he just kind of rolled over there. Georgia now up to the 28-yard line. Man in motion. And Stockton, another screen. It's to Bell this time. He's going to try and get the outside. He doesn't get by Damani Jackson. The clock will keep running with 3 minutes to play here in the 1st half. 2nd down and short coming up, though. Second and 2. Handoff. Frazier up the middle. 1st down, Georgia. So the 11-1 Georgia Bulldogs looking to finish the season 12-1 and secure a top 4 seed in the college football playoffs, along with the winner of tonight's Big Ten championship plus Texas Tech. Those are the 2 teams that are solidified. Will be the team that wins tonight in the Big Ten championship and Tech. The next spot, does it go to Oregon? Does it go to the loser of tonight's Big Ten championship? If it's a close game, to be determined. 1st and 10 from the 40. Probably the last play before the 2-minute warning. A handoff up the middle to Frazier. And I think that'll probably take us to... Oh, that's actually that Bowens. Never mind. 30. I saw 3, and I thought that it was Frazier, but it was 33. That's Bowens. I did the second 3. 2-minute warning in the SEC championship. Dogs 14-0 over Alabama as they look to win their what would this be, their 2nd straight SEC championship? I mean, Georgia just kind of owns Atlanta at this point. What a half for the Dogs so far, and we'll see what they come out with out of the 2-minute warning. If you're all listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. I'll be back in a second. Here we go. 2nd down and 8 from the 42. Alabama needs a stop. And it is Stockton bootlegging out, and he'll get a few yards there. Resume comparison there between Alabama, Notre Dame, and Miami. Obviously, they're already breaking this stuff down. 3rd down and 3. They got Alabama at a 96% chance to reach the CFP according to the All-State Playoff Predictor. 3rd and 3. Stockton rolls out left. Bowens with the catch. Can he get the first down? That's a big tackle made right there by Alabama. That Destin Hill? Or Hill. Yeah, J Hill with the tackle. That is a great play. How in the world was he able to get him from the first down marker?
Stack up there, running back. Should have made that easy.
So 4th and 1, Alabama calls their first timeout. Kirby Smart, does he have something planned for 4th and 1, or will he punt the football away? We'll see. Oh, I took timeout away from Georgia and Alabama. Okay. 4th and 1, and Stockton is coming off the field here, so I think Georgia is just going to punt this football. Oh, man. They're bringing everybody back onto the field here. This is Kirby Smart. Chess match at its best. Everybody's subbing on. There's a lot of confusion. Stockton's under center. Man's in motion. And are they just going to try and hard count him here? And that might be what they do. They're going to call a timeout now. So Kirby, lots of confusion. I mean, you know what you're getting into when you're going against a Kirby Smart coach team. It's a lot of confusion, a lot of stuff like that. He'll pull out everything. This Kane Womack is getting fired up right now. Yeah, Kane's fired up. Fourth and 1. Fourth and 1. Here we go. From the 50. Delp in motion. Are they going to trust their boys up front? They are. They're going to run the football to McCray. He's got the first down. And that's what I mean, man. This has been the difference in this football game. Georgia's ability to win up front on both sides of the line of scrimmage. McCray, hole opens up. First down, Dogs. Nice block there from number 0, Roderick Robinson. Has a touchdown today. Also out here making plays in the blocking game. Clock is ticking. Stockton has a lot of time. Ball batted at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Oh, man. That was dangerous. Second and 10. Jones. Third and 8. Pressure comes. Stockton rolls out, fires right side, incomplete. Kane Womack is asking for an intentional grounding call. The officials shut that complaint down pretty quick. But Alabama sent a lot of pressure on this play. Stockton rolled right into a contain and just launched it to the sideline. Again, Womack fired up right there, but I don't think it'll do much. Georgia's going to punt the football on 4th and 8 here. Alabama's going to be backed up. And we'll see what they do. So here's Thorson, one of the best punters in the sport. Georgia did not get too crazy there on that drive, and I was hoping they would try to run it up and go for the 3-score lead. So this ball will be punted back inside the 10. Alabama with 15 seconds left. Doubt they do try to do anything crazy here on offense. And for Georgia, just an amazing first half. Alabama's in 5 wide here. They're in empty. So here we go. 15 seconds to play. 2 timeouts. Simpson dropping back. Pressure comes. Simpson just got decked low. Pass is caught. And a flag comes in. I was about to say that was definitely a really low hit there on Ty Simpson. Glad to see he's all right, I think. I mean, yeah, he took a low blow, definitely below the knees. So there were 2 fouls on that play, though. Hands to the face on Alabama and roughing the passer on Georgia. So the fouls will offset. Alabama gets nothing out of that hit. And with 8 seconds left, DeBoer, just call it a day, bro. Yeah, that's just a low hit there on Ty Simpson. DeBoer, call it a day, man. Your quarterback just took a shot below the knees. Just kneel the ball down and go to the second half. No. End of the first half here in Atlanta. Georgia leads 14-0 over Alabama. Ty Simpson running to the locker room. Hopefully he's all right. And the Georgia Bulldogs with a 14-0 lead in the SEC Championship game. One of the most dominant first halves of Georgia football we've seen. Kirby Smart executing things to perfection. And now 1 half to go before Georgia could be SEC champions. And Alabama needs to start putting up more of a fight in that second half. They did not score a single point. So, wow. Good half, though. If you are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. Ty Simpson, again, just a brutal first half from the brutal first half from Alabama. I mean, Kalen DeBoer's got to be upset. So with BYU's loss, we talk college football playoffs. BYU, you're eliminated. You can't get blown out by 27 in the conference championship to the only good team that you've really played all season. I guess they played Utah. I think they beat Utah. But, I mean, yeah, no. BYU's done. You got Miami, Notre Dame, and Texas on that bubble right there. Again, I'm not really sure what the committee is going to do tomorrow morning. A decision will have to be made. I think that Miami, for one, definitely deserves it over Notre Dame. I think over Notre Dame, yeah. Yeah, Alabama they got to make this game more competitive. Miami deserves over Notre Dame. Head-to-head has to matter in this sport. Miami scheduled them. Miami beat them. I don't care if it was week 1 or whatever. They won. They beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame is so unbelievably fraudulent. It makes me so mad. Like, I understand that Notre Dame has won 10 games in a row or whatever. I understand that Notre Dame is 10-2. I understand they've blown out pretty much every team that they've played. But look at the body of work from Notre Dame. Look at their schedule. Texas and Miami are both more deserving teams in my opinion. I mean, my goodness, Notre Dame out here. Notre Dame is out here 10-2 with wins over Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State. USC is the only quality win on that schedule. Boston College, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, and Stanford. All of those teams suck. Notre Dame has, and Jeremiah Love's a great player. Notre Dame is a pretty solid team, but man, they are what's wrong with the sport of college football right now. In a sport where there is really just no, the committee's logic changes from year to year, from week to week it seems. Head-to-head should be a factor that's always considered. I think that resume and overall schedule deserves to be in. It needs. Notre Dame is what's wrong with the sport because they don't play anybody. They build their own schedule out every single freaking year, and it benefits only themselves. Which obviously, I mean, it's smart for Notre Dame. I mean, yeah, you pretty much are gift drafting yourself a spot in the playoffs every year. Because it's like Notre Dame can afford to, and again, they'll blow, and they look, and the thing with Notre Dame is they schedule bad teams so that they look good. Notre Dame is always going to be a team that passes the eye test. I mean, how could you not? When you're able to put up 70 points on Syracuse, of course you look dominant. Notre Dame, in my opinion, does not belong in the college football playoff this year. I don't think that they're good enough. I don't think that they're a good enough team. They just haven't beaten anybody good. USC is their only decent win. They're just not, I don't think they're deserving of the playoff at all. And especially not over Miami. Give me a break. Miami beat them. They deserve to be in. And then again, we'll see what happens here with Alabama. We'll see what happens with them, right? I mean, who knows? But as far as, again, y'all let me know in the chat if you agree. The G5 spot needs to be abolished. That should not be a thing. I understand we're trying to make it more fair and competitive or whatever. No G5. There is no G5 team that is deserving of a playoff spot this year. North Texas was maybe the only one with somewhat of a had somewhat of a case, and they got blown out. Maybe JMU, but I mean, Tulane got beat by 35. 35 by Ole Miss, who's a playoff team. JMU at 11-1 this season. JMU got beat by 14 by Louisville. Louisville this season. JMU beat Georgia State by 7. JMU. They had 4 points over Washington State. I mean, it's just, man. The G5 spot needs to go. If they're one of the 4 highest conference champions or whatever, sure. Because the ACC is a complete freaking joke this season. The ACC is a joke this in season. Complete joke this year. Complete joke. Complete joke. So there's Gunnar Stockton today. I mean, Alabama's defense has not been the problem in this football game. Gunnar Stockton has not been able to throw the football much over 5 yards, but he hasn't had to because they've been given good field position twice, and that's how they have 2 touchdowns. Alabama's offense, Ty Simpson, the offensive line, that's why they're losing this football game right now. Their only positive plays on offense have been like Ryan Williams, jet sweeps, and screens. Horton is not getting the ball. Bernard, I don't think Bernard had to catch that half, if I can remember correctly. I don't think he had to catch that half. Dude, it's just, man, this game is definitely not gone the way that I expected. If you told me Alabama had 0 points at halftime, I wouldn't have believed you. Second half starts in 18 and a half minutes. It's just the playoffs, man. The playoffs. Someone's going to make it that doesn't deserve to. Notre Dame definitely doesn't deserve to. I hate that is where the sport is. I hate that you can schedule complete bums. You can build your own schedule and schedule yourself 3 hard games a year. 2. Notre Dame realistically had 2 hard games this year, and they lost both of them. And yet because of their because they're Notre Dame and because they have college football prestige and they won championships back in the 20th century, they're in the playoffs over a team that freaking beat them, man. That is the same record. And then over my Longhorns, who played in a million times tougher schedule than they did. If Notre Dame, the way I see it, and again, hypotheticals, I get it. Oh, let's see hypotheticals. Tell me right now, tell me with a straight face that Notre Dame would be 10-2 with Texas' schedule. You're telling me that Notre Dame, we know that they lost to A&M already, so that's one loss. Notre Dame ain't beating Ohio State. That's 2 losses. Notre Dame ain't beating Georgia. That's automatically 9-3 if they have our schedule. 9-3. And do you think Notre Dame beats Oklahoma? It's a toss up with that as well. So it's just again, I'm sure the committee's thought about it. I'm sure that they've taken this things. They need to really sit down and look at Notre Dame as a whole, not the logo, not the prestige, not last season, this season, this year's Notre Dame team. And I don't want to hear the bull crap about how they've passed the eye test the last 10 weeks. They've passed the eye test the last 10 weeks because they've played a bunch of trash competition. That's why they passed the motherfucking eye test. That's why. Is because of that. I mean, it's just... Notre Dame is, again, I've said it a million times, Notre Dame is what's wrong with the sport right now. In a sport where there's so much controversy and so many problems, Notre Dame is the main issue with the sport. They're the root of all issues in this. They're the root of the scheduling and playoff issue in the sport. Because if they just joined a conference and they played a normal schedule, this wouldn't be an issue. If they either earn their spot by doing well in conference play or they don't. Instead, they build their own schedule and they play terrible teams most of the season, sprinkle in a couple early games, and they only sprinkle, besides the USC rivalry, which I think is going away, they sprinkle in those 2 early season games just so, even if they lose, at the end of the season, they can say, well, look, that was in the early season. We're a different team now. Look at us. We just beat Syracuse 70-7. We're a completely different football team now. Now, the A&M game, there was controversy there. I know there was that holding call at the end of the game and Notre Dame, this and that. I get that. Again, Notre Dame is definitely one play away from being 11-1. I get that. Miami, they blew it late. Again, Notre Dame did play very competitive, but then the day you lost both of the games. You lost to the only good teams you played this season. Alabama, you want to talk about Alabama if they lose this game. Obviously, they do have the win over Georgia in Athens, which is one of the best wins of the college football season. No doubt about that in my mind. But then you take a really closer look at Alabama. You take a look at their schedule. You take a crazier look at their team and their resume and things like that. And it's just, I don't know, man. Alabama, to me, I don't know. Alabama got beat by Oklahoma at home. I mean, that in itself is a completely embarrassing loss. I mean, to lose to OU at home, a team that barely beat LSU a week ago who has no offense. And then you got a team in Alabama who also lost. Who was their other loss to? Oh, Florida State. That's probably the worst loss out of all the playoff contenders is the Florida State loss. Because Texas losing to Florida beat Florida State. So that is the worst loss out of all the contenders was that Florida State loss. Which, I mean, again, that was awful loss from Alabama. The only thing is, do you want to penalize a team that's making... The thing is, though, from the committee standpoint, you're already going to penalize BYU for losing their conference championship in the fashion that they did. So the logic applies to Alabama, too, in that sense. If they get their butts kicked by Georgia, then, I mean... it's the same thing. Alabama did not have a good enough of a regular season resume to where they could afford to play bad against Georgia, is kind of my opinion in this sense. You lose to OU and you lose to Florida State, you gotta come out and at least show something in this game. I mean, I'm looking at Alabama right now in that first half, and it's just like that offense is worn down as the season's gone on. I don't know. It's interesting. The committee has decisions to make. Number one thing is definitely the situation with Notre Dame, though. Notre Dame, get out of the playoffs. You don't belong. Miami deserves it over you 100%. I think Texas is definitely better than both of those teams, but get out of here with stupid Notre Dame, bro. They don't belong in this year's playoffs. Duke, Virginia tonight's a very interesting game. Again, I have no idea who's going to win. I mean, it just feels so random to me. Virginia is probably not that good of a team. The ACC as a whole is a complete joke. And part of that is because the teams in the ACC who are supposed to be uplifting the conference they suck. They suck for the most part. Look, like the Big Ten is not that deep of a conference, but the top teams in that conference are doing what they're supposed to do. Ohio State's the best team in the country. Indiana is one of the best teams in the country. Oregon has been a great team this year. Penn State didn't do their job. Michigan was USC was But you have three teams who are uplifting that conference. The ACC, the teams that recruit the best in that conference, you got Florida State, who was awful this year. Florida State was terrible. They're not uplifting the conference. Clemson completely fell off and performed way below expectations. And then Miami, I mean, they're good, but they're not even playing the conference championship tonight. And then you got SMU, who fell off too from last season. They were not nearly as good this season. They did beat Miami, which looms large right now. William, you think Alabama deserves playoffs? I see the argument. It's just like you got to put Alabama up aside. You're going to put Alabama up beside the teams that are battling for that last spot, and it's just like Alabama has a worse loss than Texas. They have a worse loss than us to Florida State. Our worst losses. Common opponents, they would be 1-1 against Georgia. Who are our common opponents with Bama? Georgia, they'd be 1-1 potentially. Oklahoma, we fried. They lost at home. Both of us beat Vanderbilt at home. I mean, who else did Alabama even play? I feel like Alabama's schedule was trash. LSU, we know LSU. My gosh, LSU was awful this year. Wisconsin sucks. Missouri, they won by 3 on the road against Missouri. I mean, did Missouri have Bo that game? Or that's a decent win, I guess. Tennessee lost to every single team they played this year with a pulse. And then they barely beat South Carolina, but okay, whatever. We barely beat some teams too. I'm not going to hold that against them. But yeah, they had some tough close ones against Auburn and South Carolina. We had bad close ones against Miss State and Kentucky. Man, those are some bad football games. Oh, man. I don't know. I doubt that Alabama gets left out of the playoffs, though. There's an argument to be made, but unless Georgia just comes out in the second half and really blows the doors off of them, I doubt it. What I expect to end up happening, if I had to make a prediction, Ohio State wins tonight. Let me look at the CFP bracket as a whole here. I just want to look at it. I want to see what the... All right, here's the bracket. Okay, I think Ohio State wins tonight. They are the 1 seed. 2 seed, Georgia. They hold on and they beat Bama. 3 seed, Texas Tech. 4 seed, Indiana. Those are your buys. Then you'll have Oregon at 5, Ole Miss 6, A&M 7, Oklahoma 8. You don't think so? You don't think? Do you think they'll get blown out?
Huh?
You think they get blown out?
No, they'll be 2 or 3 if they lose tonight.
Tech looked good though.
But again, people saw what you saw.
Yeah.
That's weak. I mean, that's a weak conference now. I mean, that's
Big 12.
Oh,
That's pretty bad.
conference right now. They were trying to make it's competitive. No, it's not. It sucks. And it's going to I bet Iowa State, Baylor's down, Okie State's down, TCU's down, Iowa State's about to go down. Who else?
ASU's alright, I guess.
ASU, Arizona. I mean, Colorado. I mean, that's a shitty conference now.
Yeah, the Big 12 is really bad.
Yeah.
Not as ACC is also bad.
Yeah.
The ACC has brands though. ACC has the three big brands: FSU, Miami, and Clemson, and then plus SMU with all their money. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe the ACC will be a better conference going forward, but yeah. And then I don't know. I think the committee is going to do right by Miami, and they're going to put them in over Notre Dame. I just don't. I mean, it's head to head is what matters. You gotta. I think BYU gets the boot, and then I think Virginia will win tonight, and they'll get their spot, and then I don't know, it's Tulane or JMU. I have no idea how.
This one's. I hope Georgia blows the doors off Alabama here. I
It'd be
want
nice.
chaos.
Yeah.
My team can't be in. I want chaos.
Mhm.
That's why I wanted BYU to somehow win.
All right, so here we go. Second half, the SEC Championship game is about to get underway. Alabama, we'll see if they can show something here. I think they're getting the ball first, so this is a big opportunity for them to make something happen because it has been an ugly game. And Alabama will get the ball. Ty Simpson. There's just been a lot of miscues today from Alabama. Simpson in the first half against Georgia, he was rolling. So clearly Kirby Smart again took a step back, watched the film from that game, and they've had a good plan today for Ty Simpson. So 1st and 10 from the 25. Simpson, Bernard in motion. They fake the run, looking, throwing, got a man. It's Brooks and Georgia out there immediately. Dinkins, the great play right there. Second down coming up. That's just again great job from Georgia. They've looked like they've been the more physical team today. They've been the faster team. They've just looked better in all phases of the game than Alabama so far. And that play right there, a decent setup, but it didn't work out. They got to also get the run game established with Hill and Deere, whoever they put back there. Second down and 9 after the 1-yard play. Simpson motions a man inside. And it's going to be a fake to Hill. Play action. Simpson under pressure. He's spinning around. Simpson's running for his life. Throws down the field. It is incomplete to the sideline. Georgia came after him. Simpson tried to extend that play. That's not really his game, though. Kirby sent a blitz here. Multiple guys came in. Hill does a good job in pass protection, but Simpson had to roll out. And again, it's just not his game. And I think he tried to throw this ball as this guy was coming back, but he wasn't able to get it done. 3rd and 9. Alabama was 13 for 19 on 3rd down in the first matchup against Georgia. Here's a 3rd and 9. Simpson under pressure. He's sacked. The Dogs are here to play today. Another Alabama punt coming up. Georgia and Kirby Smart had this Alabama offensive line all confused. A guy comes in from the right side, nothing getting open in time. And Simpson, once again, he is not Diego Pavia. He is not going to escape that pressure. Thomas with the sack. Alabama punts. Fourth and 18. Branch to return. First chance of the game. Branch through the middle. Zachariah Branch lunges across the Alabama 40. And Georgia will be set up in good field position here, as I never change the possession arrow. Alabama special teams has had a rough day today. Here was the sequence of events that have Georgia up 14-0. The punt block, the touchdown, the Dalen Everett interception, and then a Dylan Bell touchdown. Georgia leads 14-0, and they're in excellent field position. This could get rough for Alabama if Georgia scores their 3rd touchdown of the game. Unbelievable. Again, Alabama has struggled today. An offense that's usually very potent, very good. Alabama only 62 yards of offense today. 1st and 10. Georgia starts at the 40. Frazier gets the run up the middle. He's stopped by Bama. Second down and 9. Stockton from the 39. And a play action. Gunner going to check it down again. Frazier tackled there by Zabian Brown. He's taken some big hits today. That was not one of them, though. Just a calm textbook tackle. And they'll bring up a third down. And third down, well, Mealy, third and medium. 3rd and 3. Not bad. Y'all listen, be sure to click the sub button. Georgia 3 for 9 on 3rd down today. 4-man rush. Wide open completion there for Stockton to Zachariah Branch, who picks up the first down. Easy play there. Easy read. Again, this Georgia offensive line's done a great job protecting Gunner Stockton today. And right here again, Zachariah Branch, little out route. Boom, first down. Easy money. And again, Stockton, not an Alabama defensive lineman in sight of him. 5 for 7 on 3rd down today. Stockton fakes the screen to Branch, goes right side of the field, got him in, Lawson Lucky inside the 10-yard line. There are those Georgia tight ends, the best tight end group in the country. And they fake this screen to Branch, which is one of their favorite plays to run. Leaves Lucky open here. Little wheel kind of concept, and Lucky just gets inside the 10-yard line. This is a great play designed by Mike Bobo. And Georgia's offense moving the football well, and they're still, again, they're without one of the best centers in the nation in Drew Bobo. He's not playing today, and Georgia's still moving it well. They're at the 9-yard line. Stockton, fake, slant, pass is deflected. I think it was going to be a touchdown, so that might have been a touchdown-saving play right there for Alabama. Hill Green, I think, was the one who deflected this pass on the RPO. I think it was an RPO slant concept. London Humphreys on the slant. He's open. It's a touchdown. That ball gets deflected. That's a huge play in this game. Great play by Hill Green to get the hand out there, because that is a touchdown if this ball gets past the line of scrimmage. Man, oh man, oh man. Second and goal, Bell in motion, and they're going to go to Frazier. He's got a crease! Touchdown, Georgia! The route is starting to happen in Atlanta. Nate Frazier. It's been an up and down year for the sophomore running back. But he is going to make this a 3-touchdown lead. The Georgia offensive line paves the way. Red Sea parts. And the Dogs are a PAT away from a 21-0 lead. They are exercising their demons in this one. This could be a 21-0 lead. Here it is. Woodring PAT good. Wow. Definitely not what I expected in college football today. But the Georgia Bulldogs and Nate Frazier, touchdown. How about the Dogs, man? Unbelievable. That's just crazy. This game has not gone the way that I think anybody's expected. Alabama's offense in shambles, and Georgia just keeps taking advantage of the short field position. But hey, this is just peak Georgia football right now. This is just good Georgia Bulldogs, Kirby Smart football, imposing their will in the trenches, and just, doing what they do. Wow. This game, man. Again, Alabama's got to figure something out, because this has been an ugly football game for them. Kalen DeBoer and them have been pretty terrible. So we'll see what happens here. But Alabama's getting routed by Georgia here in this one. I don't know. I wonder what the vibes are like on the Alabama sideline right now. I mean, you got Ty Simpson. He's struggling, looking really rough out there. Duke versus Virginia. That. I would expect that to be the ACC basketball championship, not the football championship. But I digress. Night has fallen in Atlanta. It is a dark night out there for Alabama fans at the moment. Georgia kicks off, and can the Crimson Tide's offense get something? They're going to return this kick. Can they get something on the kick? No. Helmet flew off, though, at the end of this play. The final two CFP spots. You got Virginia versus Duke. You got Tulane. You got James Madison, who both won their conference championship. Okay, get Boise State out of there. They're not in. And then Duke. Wait, Duke is not in either. It really is. Those two spots are going to come down to JMU, Tulane, and Virginia. If you're listening, click the sub button. 1st and 10 for Ty Simpson and the Alabama Crimson Tide, who desperately need something. They're starting at their own 13, which isn't ideal either. Simpson, and he's going to hand it off here to Deere. Doesn't get much on that one. It has been a rough day to be an Alabama Crimson Tide fan. It's a 2nd down and 5 here. Kirby Smart's defense has been elite. And Alabama, again, starting deep in their own territory, not what you wanted to see. They're 1 for 6 on 3rd down today. Can Georgia get them to another 3rd down? As Alabama's motioning a lot of guys around, Jeremy Bernard yet to make an impact in this football game. 2nd and 5. Simpson hands off to nobody, and he's just going to slide down. Did he hand the ball off the wrong direction there? For some reason, I feel like that was supposed to be a read option, and it was supposed to be like he was only going to keep the ball. I think he just handed this off. Okay, so that was just complete confusion because Deere is running away from the play. How in the world do you get so confused there? That was definitely supposed to be like a read option type of play. And he fakes the handoff to Deere, who's literally not even there. So then Simpson just has to slide down. That's a loss of 5. Now it's a 3rd and 10. Alabama 1 for 6 on 3rd down today. This is a long one here. There's confusion up front. And oh my goodness. Whoa, that's a big hit. That might be oh my goodness. Wow. There were flags down for a false start. And Kalen DeBoer is screaming at the officials because Harris came in and decked Ty Simpson there during that play. As there was a ton of confusion. The whistle blew, and then Harris goes in, launches himself into Ty Simpson, who was all given. I don't know, man. That was pretty bad. I'm shocked they didn't call that 15. DeBoer was pretty upset, though. 3rd and 15 now, inside their own 10-yard line. Simpson, 3-man rush, has time, check down outside, and it's actually a pretty decent play, but a big hit there on the sideline from C.J. Allen. 4th down coming up, and Alabama, another punt coming. And again, DeBoer screaming about the bailout. Again, it's not, I mean, you hate to see that, but not getting the bailout. But at the end of the day, your offense is so unbelievably bagged right now. Fourth and 3. And it is going to be Branch who fair catches this one at about the 33. Alabama's really struggling. Second and 10. Stockton stepping up and gonna take off. Third and 2. Stockton down the field, and the pass is complete. Hands to the face, here's the call. Hands to the face on. It's going to be a 3rd and 17 after the conversion. 3rd and 17. Stockton down the middle.
Tries to get out. The dog that tries to get out.
It's not terrible, right? Can you drive that? No, he's gonna be at private. Where is the red pen? Because his iPad is over there.
It's right over there.
Oh my word. Ladies. Feet back. What's with all those chairs and stuff? Ugh. So what are we doing here?
Georgia, Alabama.
Oh, wow. Oh yes, people asking me. You don't have any A&M? Oh, that lady that told me that? Aggie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a better look at the 95-year-old. She was old, baby.
Yes, baby.
I don't even know if she had all her teeth.
Yes.
It's so sad to say. Patty and Amma came. And Amma bought. She bought honey from somebody. Why are you listening to that idiot? Okay, I started with 62.
You gotta hear it.
What?
We're the United States of America. That's who we are. We're the U.S. And there's nothing.
Do you hear it?
United States of
America. That's
The United States of America got it.
America.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's Joe Biden.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Here's Evan's $12.
Yay.
How much did you give me?
$4, 4 or 5.
$4 for that.
Just keep it. Keep.
I'm
It's going to
just
the same place.
okay, but Evan's $12. So
Gotcha.
let's see. Okay, I just want. All right, I want to take out. Okay, what I started with.
1st and 10, 5:40 to go here in the 3rd. Alabama was able to get a stop, and now
Okay, this is what I started with.
Simpson
Here's what I made.
under pressure, and that ball was it hit the ground. Hill's able to make the catch. 3rd and 4 here for Alabama and Simpson. Simpson check down to Hill, one-on-one tackle, and Hill stay up. What a play! Or did they call him short? The official came in and marked him down, so it's going to be a 4th and very short. I didn't know if Hill had gone down, but he did step out. That foot went out of bounds there as he was trying to maneuver here on the sideline. Good call by the official. He saw that. And 4th and 2, Alabama going to be forced to punt once again. I don't know. Zachariah Branch is super dangerous. Now we'll go out at the 35. So another stop for the Georgia defense. Alabama's just struggling bad. First and 10, Frazier with the handoff up the middle. And we'll see where they spot him. That's a good run, though, from Frazier. Did he get to that line? I think they're going to mark him a little short.
That's from one.
Second and 1. And Frazier makes a cut up the middle. He'll get a pretty solid gain.
But that was great because that has no piece.
And we have a flag down for a false start here on Georgia. Second and 10. And Georgia going to hand it off up the middle. McCray went nowhere. Third and 13. Stockton, check down to Cash Jones. He'll cross midfield and be taken out of bounds.
That's so much water I had.
4th down coming up.
Oh, baby, I can't leave him.
4th and 5. Thorson to punt this one away. And this one will be fair caught inside the 10. Alabama and Georgia has become a field position battle type of game here in the second half.
Bina brought us a gift. Chocolate. Somebody hot chocolate.
First and 10. Simpson, play action, has pressure on him. He gets rid of it, and that's a great completion for Simpson. Up ahead to the tight end. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. Alabama trails 21-0. They've got to lock in here in the fourth quarter. All right, there we go. Finally back in a normal setup, which is kind of nice. It's been a minute since we've been in this nice little setup. There we go. All right. Man, fourth quarter coming up. Here we go. 1st and 10. Alabama completion there. They got to get something going offensively. They played really poor in this game. Second and 1. Alabama at the 40. And Simpson under pressure. And he's going to be sacked by Georgia. Johnson makes another big play for the Dogs defense that's had Alabama in trouble all day long. Wow. 15-yard penalty for unnecessary roughness on Georgia. And Kirby Smart is losing his mind at DeMello Jones here for a personal foul after the play, which I don't know what happened. It was a great play, a great sack. How do you mess this up? What did Jones do then? It gives them a first down. That's Georgia with 6 penalties for 65 yards today. And it gives Alabama a first down at the 45. Here we go. Simpson under pressure. Everett bats the ball in the air. Oh my goodness, how's that caught by Alabama? Oh my, that ball got batted on the blitz and it somehow ends up an Alabama first down. That's ridiculous. Alabama on the move now at the Georgia 42. Feels like this is the first time they've crossed midfield all day. Only their 7th first down. Here's Simpson dropping back. He's going to just check it down. Great tackle there by Georgia, though C.J. Allen was there. He thinks it was incomplete. That was a ridiculous play, though. Edwards had that catch. And DeMello Jones, just an idiotic decision there at midfield. What is he thinking? Second and 6. And a check down to Hill. He dropped it. Third and 6. Simpson under pressure off his back foot. Fired downfield. Incomplete. A pass interference flag on Jones. DeMello Jones. Oh, man. It's been a brutal drive for the Georgia corner. And Alabama gets bailed out. Georgia up to 80 yards in penalties. First and 10. Williams in motion. Simpson fakes. Has time. Delivering a strike down the field. Incomplete off the outside hand of Brooks. That one was close, man. That one was close. Second and 10. Bama driving down the field. This is a must-score drive. Edwards in motion. They send a blitz. Simpson off his back foot down the field. It's incomplete. Ryan Williams versus Ellis Robinson. And Williams did not haul that one in. 3rd and 10. Again, Georgia just keeps sending pressure. And this is a great throw and a bad drop. I mean, this is a tough, I guess it's a tough catch. But Williams let that one just go through his body. It went right through his hands off his chest. I mean, that's a ball that you'd expect a 5-star receiver to be able to haul in. Ryan Williams, not really known for the hands, though. 3rd and 10. Georgia trying to make a big play in this game. Simpson motions a man out. Pressure's coming. Simpson's got to get rid of it. He throws the screen to Bernard. Can Georgia make the tackle? Bernard's going to get a 1st down. Bernard's going to score. Touchdown, Alabama. It took some penalties from Georgia, but Jeremy Bernard gets Alabama some life in this one. Touchdown to make it a 21-7 game. This is a great play design, and then Bernard does the rest, finally getting him the football. And PAT is good, 21-7. Oh, man. That's a big touchdown, though. Alabama's back in it now. Georgia will get the football here. Y'all are listening. Be sure to click the subscribe button. We got 1 quarter of football to go. Here we go. Alabama will kick it off here in Georgia. 21-7, 12.5 to play. Georgia again, that was unfortunate for Georgia there, no doubt. This game's interesting now, though. If you are listening, click the subscribe button. 1st and 10. Georgia with the football at their own 25. And here's Stockton rolling out right, looking to throw. Pass is caught. Branch, and he'll pick up a decent little gain on that one. Zachariah Branch doing what Zachariah Branch do. 2nd down. Second and 3. And Stockton play action. Rolls out. Complete 1st down to Delp. Stockton play action. 1st and 10. And Stockton will keep it himself and get buried into the ground by Tim Keenan. Second and 10. Branch is in motion. And Stockton's going to run it himself up the middle. Gunnar Stockton gets a solid gain there. Again, he's taking a lot of hits today. Gunnar Stockton will pull it down and run. We know this. Third and 4. Stockton running, makes a cut, and another tackle by Keenan. And Alabama's defense is going to get another stop. Kane Womack. Fourth and 4, and all of a sudden, Georgia will be forced to punt the football. Big play here. Brett Thorson will punt this away, and we'll see how far he can back up Alabama's offense. And, muff the punt! The ball's on the ground. I think Alabama did get it back, though. But they are going to be backed up deep in their own territory because of the muffed punt from Adams. If you are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. Adams right here drops the ball. It was on the ground. He quickly picked it up, though. Alabama deserves to watch playoffs on TV like the rest of us. I doubt it. The SEC championship, I doubt it'll be used against them, to be honest with you. My biggest gripe for Texas and why I think Texas should be in the playoffs is because I think that we are a better football team than Notre Dame, and Notre Dame plays a bunch of soft teams. And their schedule is a complete joke. Notre Dame should join a conference, bro. I'm not like for the better of the sport, not for themselves. Obviously, it works out for themselves because they can schedule whoever they want, and doesn't matter. 1st and 10, Simpson drops back from his own end zone, and he'll check it down at the feet of Edwards, incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up. But Miami, you think Bama better than them? Bama versus Miami. It's a tough debate. By the way, if y'all listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. It's tough. I think Alabama would beat Miami, though. Miami had a couple bad losses this season. I would, if I was betting, I'd bet on Bama. 2nd and 10. Simpson over the middle. Pass complete to Bernard. Making moves. He's going to be short. But Miami's not a bad football team at all. I mean, they did have a couple bad losses. They're definitely better than Notre Dame, though. Again, my biggest gripe with this whole thing is Notre Dame. Notre Dame is the problem. I hate that stupid program. They don't belong anywhere near the CFP, in my opinion, because they schedule horrible teams, except for the first 2 teams that they played, which they lost to both of them. And I guess USC is an okay win. If that's your best win is USC, and the teams on the bubble have beaten way better teams than you, don't deserve to be in. No, I'm a Texas fan. I'm a huge Longhorn fan. So I think we are one of the 12 best teams at this point in the season. And we're definitely better than Notre Dame. As that pass is incomplete. Hospital ball from Simpson. I'm just being realistic about Alabama because I know the committee's probably not going to drop them for losing the SEC championship game to Georgia, even though it hasn't been a good game and Alabama's pretty much been dominated for 4 quarters. As that was a great hit there from C.J. Allen, future star linebacker. And Alabama, 4th and 2 from their own 13-yard line is gonna. It looks like they're gonna keep their offense on the field. Simpson outside pass is overthrown, incomplete. The route was open. DeBoer is frustrated because Alabama turns it over on downs. The officials can't give him a personal foul this time. Alabama turns it over. And it'll be Georgia football deep in Alabama territory. And Simpson just airmails this throw to Bernard. It would have been a tough play. Bernard probably would have hauled that one in, though. DeBoer's upset. I mean, that's what you want. You're one of your top receivers on an island there. And Simpson, the no good, very bad day for him. Bunt it in, Georgia. Let's go. First and 10. And Georgia. Stockton up the middle. Second and 10. Handoff to Frazier. He is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Third and 11 for Georgia. Stockton is in an empty set. And Gunner is going to throw the screen to Branch. Can you make a man miss? Zachariah Branch towards into the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia! And I believe that is going to pretty much do it for the SEC championship game. With 6:51 to go, Zachariah Branch may have just put the dagger in the heart of Alabama. Zachariah Branch. Woodring 28-7. Georgia dominating against Alabama. What a game. Georgia has exercised their demons today. Yeah, Georgia's really not. Georgia really hasn't tried to pound it to Bama on the offensive side of the football this half, but it hasn't mattered. Alabama's defense is, man. That's funny. Yeah, this has been a fun SEC championship for Georgia fans as they've finally done it. They have. It looks like they're gonna just stick it to Alabama, and I mean it's been absolute domination. Just dominant. I mean, Ty Simpson's looked bad. Um, if you are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. What a day it's been, though, to be in a Georgia fan. Alabama has looked terrible. The committee will have to think about where to put them now because this performance has been terrible. I mean, they've been outclassed in every way in this game. Um, Truly, their offense just looks completely lost. And again, I think that at this point in the season, again, we'll see how Ohio State does tonight, but I'm leaning towards saying that Georgia and Ohio State are the two best teams in the country. The way that both those teams are playing right now, Georgia's been an absolute wagon the last few weeks. And Alabama, by the way, 1 rushing yard today. 1. They haven't been able to establish any sort of ground game. They haven't been good today. They've been actually terrible today. And Georgia is taking full advantage. 6:51 to go. Ty Simpson missed throw here. I mean, there's no one, no pressure, nobody. Bernard has a guy there. Then Stockton on this next drive, screen pass to Branch, and I mean that's Branch just doing Branch things. He's so fast, one of the most electric players in the sport for a reason. And again, Georgia solidifies their case. They deserve to be probably the number 2 team in the college football playoff rankings, behind, of course, the winner of tonight's Big Ten championship. So there you go. Ty Simpson, 150 yards passing today. He has the football at their own 25. Can Alabama make this game look a little closer? Simpson Check down over the middle, complete to, or not check down, pass over the middle, complete to Jeremy Bernard, who's going to pick up a good gain there, 1st and 10. But this is just all about Alabama making the score look closer than it actually is. That's literally all this is. I mean, they're not winning this game. They're down 21 with 6.5. Empty set for Simpson. Can Georgia make a play on defense and end this football game officially? Simpson, clean pocket, fires left side. That pass is complete to Bernard again, who started to heat up here in the second half. So, again, we'll see. 6 minutes, clock's ticking. Both teams have all their... did I ever adjust the timeouts? Both teams have all their timeouts. Let me do that real quick. Both teams have all their timeouts. Alabama moving it better than they have all day, with Georgia sitting back a bit. 2nd and 2. Simpson left side. Pass is incomplete. It was Everett versus Bernard. Alabama only has 7 in this game also because of the 2 personal fouls on DeMello Jones on that one drive. And they got the stop. Kane Womack got all excited because their defense finally, defense made a big play. And then Alabama proceeded to get stopped. And that little momentum that they had, it was gone instantly. So if you are listening, be sure to click the sub button. 3rd down and 2 for Alabama. Ty Simpson. Motions a man, Daniel Hill inside. They're at about midfield. Simpson. Georgia shows blitz. Will they actually send everybody, though? They'll send 4. Simpson has time. Looking. He'll take off. And Allen with a good tackle. It's going to be close. And I think they're going to mark Ty Simpson about a yard short of the 1st down marker. Heck of a tackle there by C.J. Allen, who I think has played tremendous today. And Kirby's frantic on the sideline as they're trying to get their personnel right here for 4th down and 1. Alabama trying to make something happen here. Georgia still substituting guys onto the field, making sure they have everybody aligned. Clock is ticking down to under 5.5 minutes. Simpson, empty at the moment. Now Hill motions back, and a timeout called by Kalen DeBoer in Alabama as they're going to get their personnel and play call set up nicely here for 4th down. So there you go. If y'all listening, over 50 of y'all in here right now, be sure to click the sub button. It really, again, helps out the channel so much. Getting close to 2,000 subs. Again, I really appreciate it and all of that. And, yeah, this has been a game Georgia's dominated. They made a statement. I think Georgia looks pretty unbeatable at the current moment. They're looking elite. Ohio State has the talent to compete with them. Again, we'll see how good Ohio State looks tonight. And man, oh man. Yeah, be sure to click the sub button and like up the screen. Like up the stream. That's funny. 4th down and 1. Alabama at the 50. They're gonna motion guys across the formation. Hill's in the backfield. Can Georgia make the stand? Simpson. Dump off. Pass is complete to Edwards, who's going to pick up the 1st down. That was a really, really nice play right there. I like the play design a lot. Pocket collapse there because of the design, and that's an easy 1st down pitch out there from Simpson. Considering streaming the Indiana... Okay, so they're going to reset the clock here to 5:15. If you guys want me to stream the Indiana versus Ohio State game coming up, just let me know. I'd be down to do that for sure. I've had fun streaming this Bama game, talking college football, doing what I love to do. So here we go. 1st and 10 from the 42 of Georgia. Alabama, clock is under 5 minutes. Here's Simpson. Has some time, fires left side, nearly intercepted. KJ Bolden went over there with the deflection. I don't know if Ellis Robinson could have potentially had an interception if Bolden didn't get in the way. But he was looking for Ryan Williams here, I believe. This was a really late throw, and honestly, it could have been intercepted by Ellis Robinson. It would have been a 50-50 between him and Ryan Williams. Bolden, though, came right in front and knocked it away. Kirby's like, so close to a game sealer right there, officially. But there you go. Incomplete. 2nd and 10, Alabama. Daniel Hill back into the backfield here. And it'll be Simpson. Georgia is going to send 4. And now a spy on Simpson that's going to turn into a sack. What a play right there by the Dogs. It's Walker. So they sent 4 right here on this rush, but they had Walker right over the center on a spy. And Ty Simpson, again, not the best runner in the world, was never really had a chance at escaping that one. I'm not going to lie. That's going to be another big loss for Alabama. 3rd down and 15, Georgia with their 3rd sack of the night. And now a lot of yards to go for Alabama, who struggled on 3rd down today. Georgia sending guys up to the line of scrimmage. What's Kirby going to do with it? 3rd and 15. Pressure. Simpson gets decked. Hits Bernard over the middle. They're going to lateral it backwards. What a play call. It's going to be a big play for Alabama. Unbelievable. So they threw it over the middle to Jeremy Bernard, who threw a lateral pass to Daniel Hill, who was on the other side of the field, and that is going to be a 1st down and more. What a play. That worked out perfectly, and Alabama's now inside the red zone. Simpson throwing outside, pass is incomplete. Bernard pointed at the official, wanted a flag, and he didn't get one. Clock stops at 3:42 though. Unbelievable though. That play was crazy. That was a diabolical play call by Kalen DeBoer. First you had the Caden Proctor screen pass earlier in the season, then that. Man. Second and 10. Second and 10. Simpson under pressure. He throws this one out of bounds. It went off the hands of Deere. It was going to be a massive loss. I guess Alabama did not eat enough peanuts. They didn't. Yeah, Alabama, dude, it has not been their day. I mean, they got the punt blocked early. That was obviously a really bad start to this game. By the way, if you are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. And Alabama, who is 10-1 in their last 11 games versus Georgia, but none of that mattered today on this field, as it's been all Dogs. 18 pressures on defense. Alabama 3 for 13 on 3rd down. 3rd and 10. Simpson. Empty. Georgia sends a blitz. Simpson throws outside. Pass incomplete. It was behind Ryan Williams. 4th and 10 for Alabama. The Dogs are so close to finally doing it for the first time since that national championship in 2022, exercising their demons over the Alabama Crimson Tide, who have lorded over them for years. But this could be the moment Dogs fans have been waiting for. 4th and 10. Does Alabama have anything left in them to get some extra points? Bernard in motion. He's had an active second half. Play clock is down to 5 seconds. Simpson's got to get the snap off. He does. Georgia sends pressure. It's picked up. Simpson's under pressure now. He's going to roll out right. Simpson, he's running around. It's backyard football. And it is incomplete off the hands of Bernard. And Georgia finally is going to do it. I mean, Simpson was truly playing backyard ball. Actually threw it into the end zone on target. I want to see if Bernard was in bounds. And I think it got deflected, but for an Alabama fan, it went off of Bernard's chest. And I think this ball was deflected in the air by K.J. Bolden. Yes, it was. Changed the trajectory. And Bernard wasn't able to haul it in. But regardless, that is nearly... And the fact that Ty Simpson even got that throw off into the end zone is remarkable. Either way, though, Georgia takes over up 21. Hand off Frazier up the middle. And will Alabama bother to use their timeouts? That's the only thing they can do at this point is try to make the score look closer. But anybody with eyeballs who watched this football game knows exactly the type of game it was. It was domination from start to finish by Georgia today. It really just, it was. It wasn't even close. Georgia dominated up front. Georgia won the turnover battle. Georgia made the plays on special teams. Just complete and utter domination from Kirby Smart's Dogs today. And I got to give Georgia a lot of credit in this game. They've made people consider, hey, does Alabama really deserve a spot in the playoffs? I mean, I doubt they're going to end up getting punished for this loss. As here's Stockton play action. He's going to look around and roll, and he'll just end up taking the sack there. And I think Alabama is just about to use a timeout with 2.5 minutes to go in this game. I mean, gotta strongly assume the clock just stopped. It's probably an Alabama timeout, and it is. Yeah, this has just been, I mean, yikes. Oh, wait, shoot, I did it again. Alabama with 1 timeout left. So there's the college football playoff rankings. Ohio State versus Indiana, 1 versus 2 tonight. Both of those teams are in. The Georgia Bulldogs are going to be a top 2 seed in the playoffs. They're in. Texas Tech, top 4 seed in the playoffs. They're in. Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma. They're in. It's those final 4 spots, which one of those spots will be taken up by a G5 team. So then you have BYU, who's probably kicked out of the playoffs with their bad loss to Texas Tech today, which means it comes down to Alabama, Notre Dame, Miami, and then if you want to throw Texas in the discussion, I doubt we're going to make it, but there you go. It really does come down to those teams. And there you go. 3rd and 12. And up the middle. There goes Chauncey Bowens. First down, Georgia. And that is pretty much going. That seals it. That seals it. I think Georgia can kneel it now. 143 rushing yards on the day. Just an incredible, as Bowens is hurt here and he's going to slowly get off the field. And oh no, Bowens couldn't even make it off the field. That's quite unfortunate. If you are listening though, yeah, be sure to click the subscribe button. I am strongly considering streaming this next game coming up and having a good time as Bowens. I don't know, he just kind of got slung down here at the end and landed hard on his back. That's a brutal hit. Yeah, I do want to stream that next game. I would end this one and make another one. That's what I would do. So I don't know. I mean, if y'all want me to stream, leave a like, leave a comment, and yeah, I'll definitely do that. Because, I mean, I've had fun today. It's been a fun day. Fortunately for Georgia, Chauncey Bowens coming off the field, getting carried off. Hopefully he will be okay. 2:10 remaining in this football game with Georgia just dominating in this game. It's been very impressive to watch. And so, I've enjoyed it. It's been really fun. It's been great to watch. 2-minute warning is here, and I think it's just milk and cookies. Georgia can kneel it down and end this one, and they're SEC champions, man. Yeah, this game's pretty much over. Two minutes to play. Jackson Arnold is going to the Jackson Arnold going to the portal? That's funny. I mean, not like it really matters. Oh, man, what a day. Yeah, Ryan Williams, that was a bad one. That's funny. Yeah, another sub. Hey. Yeah, it's been a fun day, though. I've enjoyed today. Again, I'm going to strongly consider streaming this next one. Indiana, Ohio State's one of the best games of the day. This game has been, I mean, both games today have been pretty bad in terms of like the competition. It's been blowouts from Tech, blowout from Tech, blowout from Georgia. But I mean, it was a good game to see Georgia, finally kind of exercise that demon, beat Alabama. It was good to see this, Georgia just doing their thing. I mean, they looked really good today. Georgia looks like a team that can seriously compete for a national championship 100%. I mean, that's just the way that it's been. Ty Simpson, he looked so good early in the season. He looked completely lost today. It's a first down and 10 for Georgia. And I think, I mean, can they kneel this right? Yeah. And that's it. That is it. Georgia will kneel the football out, and they are now SEC champions for the second consecutive year. And Alabama, who's just been able to beat them so many times, they did not win today. The early season matchup, Georgia has, what do you call it? Yeah, Georgia has gotten their revenge for their only loss of the season. They go 12-1. They are in the college football playoff easily, of course, but they're also in the top 4. They're going to be the number 2 seed in the college football playoff with this win today over Alabama. They've secured their spot. There is no question. Georgia is one of the best teams in the country. They're one of the best teams in the playoff, and they're a legitimate threat to win it all once again, as they always are under Kirby Smart. As for Alabama, third loss of the season. What happens to them next? Who slides in front of them? Where do they end up landing when the rankings come out tomorrow? I'm not exactly sure, but all I know is that Alabama did not play good today. They did not look like a very good football team in today's game. Their offense was dysfunctional. Their defense was crappy. Georgia's going to kneel this football out, and Stockton will end this football game. The Georgia Bulldogs, SEC champions, Gunnar Stockton came in to the game last year against Texas in the second half and led Georgia to a win in that game in the SEC championship. And now this year, he started the entire season from game 1 to the SEC championship, and they do it again. Third SEC championship in the last 5 seasons. The Dogs run the South. And for Kirby Smart, just another impressive and phenomenal accolade on his resume. Again, Georgia has looked dominant a lot lately. They've looked really dominant, and they are very much dangerous. Wow. If you are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. Alabama and Georgia. A rivalry that's been so one-sided, but at the end of the day, Wow. Yeah, that's just what Georgia does, man. Mm-mm. Wow. Wow. Man, oh man, oh man. Nothing else to say. Congratulations to Georgia. They earned it today. They were just so much better than Alabama in this football game. They were amazing. Ohio State, Indiana starts in 30 minutes. Um, and I mean, we'll see how that game goes. It's a big one versus two. Obviously, I'm going to be rooting for Ohio State. Um, get Notre Dame out of there. Yeah, Alabama got completely dominated. They couldn't even run the football. They ran for like, did they even run? Did they have negative rushing yards at the end of the game? I mean, my goodness. Man, I don't understand why it's a debate between Miami and Notre Dame. Man, oh man. Yeah, Alabama. We'll see what ends up happening. We will see what ends up happening with them. It's gonna be really interesting. I feel like this is all fool's gold from Texas here. We're not getting in, right? I mean, there's no way. Well, I think that'll pretty much do it for this stream. I think I'm just gonna, well, I'll probably end up streaming the Ohio State game tonight, so y'all should probably come listen to that one here in a bit. But until then, thank y'all for listening to this stream again. Be sure to click the subscribe button. It's been a good one. Congratulations to Georgia on winning the SEC championship, man. Congratulations to them on that. They're the best team in the SEC this year. They're one of the best teams in the sport, and they'll be competing for a national championship again. So, congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs on another great season, another great SEC season, and now postseason play is here. So, yeah, I'll call it a day on this stream. Hope you guys all have a great day, and well, hey, we'll hopefully y'all be back here soon. Bro, bad vibes 2016. Go home. Yeah, I'll catch y'all then. Have a good one. Click the sub button. Hope I'll be back soon with the next game against with Ohio State and Indiana. Looking forward to that one for sure. So.